But joining me on the line now is Taz Bright. Now, Taz is, of course, the Public Relations Officer for Bowls in Cape Town. Bowls, of course, making big strides. Taz, nice to have you on the line. How are things there with you?
Hello, JP. Great to see you again, my friend. Thanks for having me on the show. Would love to talk more about bowls and what's happening in Western Province and in the Western Cape. Since, as you know, 2020, it's been pretty tough for all of us. But the wonderful thing about bowls is that it's one of the safest sports that we can play. And since we've gone back, we've kept our members, and we've seen a lot of new members coming in because it is really a safe outdoor sport in the sun that the whole family can play.
You've actually just hit the nail on the head, Taz. I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about the social distancing, but you are outdoors and you do compete at a distance from each other. So it kind of lends itself a little bit to meeting those call it training and return to play guidelines under COVID.
Yes, absolutely. We are able to do the sports as we did before COVID, obviously with certain regulations in place, but the Western Province calendar and the districts competitions have all been able to continue. And especially now, this time of year, it's actually a wonderful sport for families, like I mentioned, corporate events, birthdays, bachelors, everyone's been working from home for the year. So now they can have a team builder safely outdoors, see their workmates again and friends again. So there's lots happening at our bowling clubs.
One of the things that we've definitely noticed, Taz, is that there seems to be a real momentum over the last few years of bowls being accessible and available to all ages, all genders. It's really a very wide sport. You're attracting so many new young athletes.
We're hopefully changing the perception of bowls. I mean, it's a long-standing stigma that it's old man's marbles, but that is no more. We've seen an increase. We spoke about it last time on the show, JP, where we've got 170 juniors now playing bowls. We actually had the first junior event about 2 weeks ago at Plumstead Bowling Club, where we saw 50 juniors from all over Western Province come together and play in a tournament. That was run by the Western Province Standing Committee for Juniors. And it was just wonderful seeing everybody on the green. We had a special invite from the Dominican School for the Deaf, and there was just wonderful spirit. It was played beautifully. It was just inspirational. And we are looking at doing junior events every quarter. And that's going to be the first time that we actually going to have specific events just for juniors. Juniors are also going to be joining our Western Province competition. So we'll have the Western Province junior singles and Western Province junior pairs that will be played at the same time as ours. So juniors are flying in from all over, from schools to kids to grandkids of players, and it's really great.
Taz, one of the things we've also heard about is fives. Now we know that there's different sport codes out there that play in fives, but yes. I understand bowls has also got call it a code or a section called fives.
Yes, one of the formats. So we have fives, fours, trips, pairs and singles. On the weekend was the finals of the Western Province fives. So you play in a team. You've got 3 on one rink, 2 on the other rink, and your combined score between the competition is your overall win. So the men competed. It was Western Province Cricket Club. They actually ended up with both their teams being in the final. So they definitely got the win. Well done, Cricket Club. And then we had Mowbray against Edgemead in the ladies finals. So that was played over the weekend. And as we mentioned before, it could all happen because bowls is a sport that you can play out in the sun safely, and our calendar almost hasn't changed, which is, we are really grateful. Sitting at home, like the bowling community sitting at home during COVID, there was agitation, and now we can all go back and see each other and play bowls again. It's just been really great seeing each other again.
Taz, I suppose the other component of bowls is we quite often see sport being used for sponsorship, and corporates will get involved in club structures and sports structures, specifically either to increase their return on investment or to create their brand awareness or for social investment. But you've also got in bowls opportunity for corporate events.
Absolutely. If I look over Western Province, we have about 2,500 active bowlers, but within a year or a season, we probably have about 10 to 12,000 people walking on our greens and trying the sport, whether they're affiliate or not. There's a load of people on the actual greens. Yeah. And our greens are actually a wonderful space for not only employees to have an event, but also for corporates to get their brand out there in front of quite a lot of people. So it's really a good place for our corporates to be involved.
And Taz, from a club perspective, any new clubs on the cards or places for people who are watching to go and join if they want to find a club or new club?
Yes, 34 clubs in Western Province. We've had a wonderful addition, Rondebosch Sports Centre at the Cricket Oval. They've got one green, they've laid the grasses last year, they've got about 20 members or so. Every Friday night, they are inviting anybody in the area, even if you're not in the area. No membership is required. Go try bowls, have a roll. There's a wonderful upstairs bar restaurant overlooking the Cricket Oval, and have a roll and have a beer. I mean, weather's beautiful, view's beautiful. You know, where else do you want to be?
Fantastic. And from a competitive point of view now in the province, do you have any idea looking forward? We know that times are very difficult at the moment. We still know that there's lots of restrictions, and of course we are expecting announcements that are imminent as well. But looking forward to 2021, have you got any idea of what the calendar is looking like in terms of Western Cape Bowls and some competitions there?
Yes, the calendar is pretty similar, and we're hoping that we can continue. One of the big and the best tournaments that's happening here in Cape Town will be the All Cape, where teams from all over Boland, Eden, and Western Province play, men and ladies in the same week. So that's fantastic. It's at the beginning of March. We have the Disability Nationals, which is going to go through to Joburg, also in March. The Interdistricts, I hope I haven't got my dates wrong. The Interdistricts is also in March. Right. So I think the All Cape is the beginning of April. So Interdistricts is in March. There's lots happening. Every weekend. I think the first free weekend is the middle of June.
Taz, we'll leave it at that. Obviously, we'll say to you and all the athletes out there, remember, please stay safe. Follow all the health and safety protocols, and we look forward to catching up with you again and getting lots of photographs, especially of all these new young athletes that are joining bowls in the Western Cape.
JP, thanks so much. I'll definitely be sending things your way. Thanks for all the support.
There we go, folks. Taz Bright, she's the Public Relations Officer for Western Province Bowls, which is, of course, one of the structures within the Western Cape. And if you want to find out more about joining Bowls Western Cape, just go and visit their website, www.westernprovincebowls.co.za. Go find a club near you, and isn't it fantastic to hear there that there are new clubs popping up and that the doors are open for everybody to join, and that's really great.